It was one of those nights in Houston that felt bigger than music. A night when rap history, street politics, and pure adrenaline collided under the neon glow of the Toyota Center. NBA YoungBoy's MASA tour has already been one of the most talked about hip-hop runs of 2025. But last night, it crossed over into something legendary. The Baton Rouge firebrand, known for his intensity and isolation, shocked the world by bringing out none other than Moneybagg Yo, the very artist he once publicly declared war on. The crowd didn't just cheer, they erupted. Phones shot into the air. Birdman grinned from the VIP section, and even the most hardened street fans had to admit, hip-hop had just witnessed a peace treaty 10 years in the making. To understand the gravity of that moment, you have to rewind the clock back to 2017, a time when NBA YoungBoy and Moneybagg Yo were both young, hungry, and armed with something to prove. The two Southern stars dropped Fed Babies, a gritty, courtroom-themed mixtape that was supposed to shake the streets. It had everything: hunger, chemistry, and potential to be one of the best joint projects of the era. But instead of a victory lap, what followed was chaos. Hours after Fed Babies hit streaming platforms, NBA YoungBoy took to Instagram and torched the entire rollout. "Fuck that tape," he shouted in a now-deleted clip that still circulates on YouTube. "And I want smoke." Fans were stunned. The tension between the two rappers escalated fast, fueled by cryptic tweets, subliminal bars, and rumors of label drama between CMG and Never Broke Again camps. Moneybagg Yo stayed mostly silent, focusing on his solo grind, dropping hits like Waukesha and Time Today, while NBA YoungBoy built his empire in isolation, battling legal cases, house arrests, and industry blackballing. For years, the idea of them sharing a stage again seemed as likely as Tupac and Biggie reuniting. Yet fate and the MASA tour had other plans. When YoungBoy's MASA tour rolled into Houston, fans expected fireworks, but not this. The energy was electric from the start. The sold-out arena pulsed with green laser lights as YB stormed the stage in his signature hoodie and diamond grill, performing hits like Outside Today, Fresh Prince of Utah, and My Window. But midway through the show, something shifted. The beat to Fed Babies' intro began to rumble through the speakers, a deep, ominous bass line that only real fans recognized instantly. The crowd started to scream. From backstage, Moneybagg Yo emerged, flanked by Birdman and CMG security, rocking an all-black outfit and diamond-encrusted big speaker chain. The moment felt like a movie. Two titans walking across the stage, eyes locked, as 10 years of tension dissolved in front of tens of thousands of fans. For a second, there was silence. Then, YB smirked, handed Moneybagg the mic, and the two launched into preliminary hearing, trading bars like it was 2017 all over again. The arena shook, fans went ballistic, with videos flooding X, formerly Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram within minutes. "This the collab we never got to see," one fan tweeted. "YB and Bag back together? Hip-hop is healed." Another post read, "This bigger than a concert. This is history." Even industry heavyweights weighed in. DJ Academics called it the wildest plot twist of the year, while The Breakfast Club's Charlemagne the God joked that if Drake and Kendrick hugged tomorrow, it still wouldn't hit like this. Behind the scenes, the reunion reportedly wasn't spontaneous. Sources close to the CMG and Never Broke Again camps say Birdman, who's been mentoring YoungBoy throughout the MASA tour, played a major role in facilitating peace between the two artists. According to insiders, the truce was months in the making, with both camps agreeing to bury the hatchet in the name of progress and prosperity. Moneybagg Yo, who's built his own empire with CMG under Yo Gotti, had been looking to reconnect with his Southern peers, while YoungBoy, fresh off his probation release, has been on a mission to rebrand, focusing more on unity, ownership, and longevity. "This ain't about beef no more," Birdman reportedly told those in attendance backstage. "It's about building something bigger than ego. The South got too much power to keep fighting itself." And that message was reflected in the energy that night. There were no sneak disses, no tension, just pure mutual respect. As the two rappers performed mandatory drug test and contempt of court, you could feel a decade's worth of animosity melting away. After the performance, YoungBoy threw his arm around Moneybagg and looked out into the crowd. "We good," he said into the mic. "Ain't no hate, it's all love. We done came too far." Moneybagg nodded, adding with a grin, "Y'all been waiting long enough. We might gotta run that back." Fed Babies 2? The crowd lost it. Within hours, Moneybagg Yo and NBA YoungBoy were trending #1 worldwide. Hip-hop blogs flooded timelines with clips of the performance, fans debated whether a new joint project was on the way, and Spotify streams for Fed Babies spiked over 700% overnight. Even CMG artists like Glorilla and 42 Dugg reacted online, celebrating the long-overdue reunion. TMZ dubbed it a hip-hop ceasefire. Complex called it the collab no one saw coming. And perhaps most importantly, fans started dreaming again about what Fed Babies 2 could look like in 2025. With both artists more mature, more powerful, and sonically evolved, a sequel could redefine Southern rap the same way Watch the Throne did for Kanye and Jay-Z. They both grew up, one Houston fan told reporters outside the arena. They ain't those angry young dudes no more. This is about legacy now. Beyond the hype and hashtags, what makes this moment monumental is what it represents for hip-hop. For years, the genre has been plagued by divisions, street rivalries, label conflicts, and social media drama that too often turn deadly. The sight of NBA YoungBoy and Moneybagg Yo, two rappers with documented friction, standing side by side was more than a performance. It was a message. It showed that evolution is possible, that growth is real, and that the new generation of rappers can rewrite the rules. YoungBoy, once seen as the poster child for volatility, is now positioning himself as a cultural leader, one who can headline arenas, move mountains of merch, and unite crowds that once feared his chaos. Moneybagg Yo, a master of calculated moves, understands branding, loyalty, and the power of narrative. Together, they embodied a new blueprint, one where enemies can turn into collaborators and old wounds can lead to new empires. "It's bigger than rap," said one industry insider. That moment in Houston showed the culture that reconciliation sells, and it heals. As the MASA tour continues across the country, speculation is mounting that this reunion was just the beginning. Rumors are swirling that Moneybagg Yo could join several more dates, and that Birdman is quietly executive producing Fed Babies 2, set for early 2026. Fans have already begun dissecting clues from YoungBoy's recent interviews, where he hinted that he's ready to drop something historic before the end of the year. Moneybagg, for his part, posted a cryptic Instagram story hours after the concert, a photo of him and YB backstage with the caption, "History repeats." If Fed Babies 2 does happen, it could mark one of the biggest comebacks in mixtape history, a full-circle redemption for two artists who turned their feud into a foundation for something greater. In an era where beef fuels clicks and disses dominate headlines, seeing NBA YoungBoy and Moneybagg Yo squash their decade-old feud was nothing short of revolutionary. It reminded fans that the best stories in hip-hop aren't just about who's hardest or richest, they're about growth, forgiveness, and full-circle moments that remind us why we fell in love with the culture in the first place. Houston witnessed something special that night. Not just a concert, but a coronation. A moment where two kings of the South stood tall, looked past the past, and chose unity over ego. And as the lights dimmed and fans chanted both their names in unison, one thing became clear. The Fed Babies are all grown up, and the culture will never be the same again.